Easy, everyone. So I wanted to show you something that we've created, which I'm very happy with. And that is a VST sample-based synth plugin. And it has around 200 sounds that have been created by myself and Paul Sirrell, who's a bit of a garage legend. And it's like an all-in-one kind of bass sound plugin, basically, with a range of different bass presets that are categorized by different styles of bass, essentially. So you've got Reese basses in there, you've got the warp style basses, we've got some growls, organ, acid, pluck basses, and also some subs, and then some other sort of like ones that didn't fit into those sort of categories. So for those that don't know, I recently launched a platform to sell sample packs and plugins, and there's a lot of really exciting products coming, including sample packs from guest producers. We've already got stuff from Boss Priester, Ad Monty, and there's some really good guests coming. And I've also created a range of sample packs in lots of different styles. So on top of that, I have also started working on a range of plugins. There's one that I created a while back, which was really successful, called Revival, which has got lots of old school samples from old machines in like a plugin. And we've just launched Warp, which is just for bass sounds, and it's predominantly around like bass music, like speed garage, but also these sounds can cross over, and I wanted to include sounds that would work in a range of different productions, which is why I included things like the acid and the organs and things like that. So there's definitely crossover into different genres. So this is one of the sounds from Warp, so you can get a flavour for how it sounds. I've just got like a simple MIDI pattern in there for you to listen. So that's the kind of vibe that a lot of the presets are centered around, created by Paul Sirrell. Lots of sounds in there from myself from different flavors, and we'll go through and have a quick listen to the presets. But before we do that, I thought I'd just show you how it is installed. So when you purchase it from the Nebula website, nebulamusic.co.uk, this is what the folder will look like, and there's installers to make it really easy for you, and some installation instructions that show you how to do it. So I'm using a Mac, so I would double click the Warp installer here, and I can install it like this. In some cases though, because of the security on a Mac, and it may also do the same with the security on a PC, it might ask you to locate an installer file. If it does that, within the installer, you just have to navigate to this warp.rom file within the installer, and it will install it on your computer. Once you've done that, you will find in your usual presets, in your usual plugins folder, if you're using the newer version of Ableton like me, it will be separated by the plugin developer, which is Nebula, which is us. And then you'll just be able to just drag the Warp onto any of your MIDI channels in your project. So just a quick walk through the actual plugin itself then. We've got a few different features in there that I'll just talk through briefly. They're pretty self-explanatory if you've used a synth or like a Rompler style plugin before. We've got a range of effects that are all got their own mix dial here, which means by default they're always switched off. So if you wanted to add a phaser, for example, you can do that by changing the mix dial there. The same with the compressor, you can turn that on and off here, and you've got your usual threshold ratio here and the mix, and then also knee attack and release. That's all related to the compressor here. We've got this spectrum analyzer, which shows us what frequencies are present in that particular patch. And we've also got these drive settings here, so we can push the drive, and we've also got a gain control should you need to bring the sound of a patch up or down. We also have this glide function, which is really useful. In order for the glide function to work, you need to select mono and then pull the glide up. So it means that the one note will slide into another. So yeah, it'll just sort of portamento glide into other notes. So you can turn the drive on and off like this. And yeah, the glide is independent to that. You've also got your typical ADSR controls. Now it's worth mentioning that the plugin is sample based. So that means that there will be some shorter, pluckier sounds which you won't be able to add more release to, because that's just the sound of the sample within the plugin. But you can actually affect like the ADSR. And for example, if I push the release, when I press the note, it will take longer for the sound to finish. In addition, you've got a reverb unit. Now, it might seem strange to have reverb on a bass plugin, but inside the plugin, there's some really nice plucky bass sounds and some other kind of mid-range basses. So I wanted to keep all the effects within the plugin to make it easy for you to just craft the sound you want without having to add additional plugins in from third-party sources or from Ableton stock, for example. So there is a reverb should you want to use it on some of the mid-range stuff, and you've got options for what type of reverb you want, and you've got mix control here, both sides there, and the size as well, and also a damping control which you can use as well. So we've got reverb. We've also got a delay here, so it's an unsynced delay. We've got feedback, we've got a mix there as well. Again, it's for those sort of mid-range bass lines. But then again, if you do actually have like some those sort of sounds when pitched up a little bit sound great with the delay as well. You've also got a pan control. It's very rare that you'll need to use this, but I did want to include it as well. When it's set to 0, that's the default. It means that it's just literally down in the center. We've also got the polyphony. In most cases, you're going to be in mono when you're writing bass lines, but I also want to give the option to create chords should you want to. It adds more creativity opportunities in that way. So I thought that'd be really good to include. And what is really nice on a bass line is chorus. So we can, create, like, we can adjust the rate and things like that of the chorus and add a little bit of stereo in there as well. For things like Reese bass lines, that works really well. So I guess the last thing that I haven't covered is the LFO section. So you've got the wave shape of the LFO. You can route it into different places. So you've got the option to have it as a filter. So you can hear that that's affecting the filter there. You've also got pitch. So yeah, options for the LFO, which is quite a nice little addition. And of course, you can stack it with as many other plugins on the effects channel as you want. So I just wanted to include some basic effects. And also we've got these EQ settings as well if you wanted to EQ right within the plugin. The sounds have been crafted pretty well, but say you did want to affect each of the frequency bands, you're able to affect the Q, the frequency and the gain of each of the bands. It's like a 3-band EQ, which may be helpful if you wanted to craft within the plugin. So yeah, let's just take a look at some of the sounds. So we've got Reese sounds. Once you've selected a preset, you can scroll through here either by hovering over, or you can use your trackpad or whatever mouse you're using to slide up and down. Also, if you wanted to flick through the presets, you can press down or up on your keyboard as well, and you'll see that that's changing. So we've got some really nice, fat, rich Reese bass lines in there. So great for a range of different styles. That we've also got these warps. And yeah, there's tons of different variations of sounds in here. lots of opportunity for creativity with it, which is what I wanted. I basically just collected and created a range of sounds that I am going to and have been using in my productions. So there's and the sounds from Paul Sirrell are absolutely amazing in here as well. Got these growl sounds, which and also just going into like the organ sounds. There's a range of different organ sounds, and obviously these are polyphonic as well, so it doesn't have to just be used as a bass line. And then we've got like some acid sounds, and then if we can actually just try and get a little sequence going that's a bit more acid. So if I get something like Sting from Skinnerbox and just get, and then you could even get your own filter on there afterwards, like this. Yeah, which gives some really nice effect. And then let's flick through. Yeah, so some nice squelches in there. And then we've also got like some plucky bass sounds. So there's like some lately bass stuff. There's about pretty much every bass sound that you could imagine in the sort of styles of music that I make, at least. So yeah, there's some plucked stuff, there's some subs, and yeah, they're really great for adding extra layers to stuff, and some other sounds as well. So yeah, it's just basically a really handy and fun plugin for like a range of different like bass sounds. Essentially, there's like 200 bass sounds. We're looking to add expansions to it as well. So it's got opportunity to just keep growing as a plugin. So yeah, it's available now over on the Nebula website. If you have used it, let me know. And yeah, I hope that it's something that helps with your productions and gives a little bit of inspiration. And yeah, nice one for watching, guys.